Hey, Forest Grove family, Pastor Dan here. It's time for your Worship Wednesday video. But as you can see, me and Randy are switching up roles here a little bit on Worship Wednesday because this coming Sunday, Randy is going to be bringing the word to us. So we wanted to kind of flip-flop roles here for Worship Wednesday. So Randy, do you want to just tell us a little bit about where we're heading in our Gospel of John series?
Absolutely. So this week, we're looking at John chapter 14. And it's been interesting as we've been going through this series, and we obviously can't cover every chapter and every verse, but even as we've been going through, there have been some big jumps time-wise. Like you reminded us when we were in John chapter 6 that this was the time of the Passover, about a year before Jesus' death and resurrection. And when I was in John chapter 9, it was about 6 months after that. And now we get to this place in the Gospel according to John where chapters 13 through 17 and even the first part of chapter 18 all take place on the same day. So we're getting a very compressed view of what's going on in the life of Jesus and his disciples. So we're going to look at that. We're going to talk about how things are breaking down here. And the one key verse that we're looking at here in John chapter 14 is 14 verse 6 that says, Jesus says to Thomas, when Thomas asks how they're going to know, he says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And he says this as a reassurance to his disciples. They're in this time where they've been talking about some pretty intense stuff. So we're going to look at what's going on in their lives at that time and how Jesus reassures them moving forward.
Awesome. Looking forward to it on Sunday. It's going to be a great morning. I know I always look forward to hearing from seminary students, but it's even better when they're one of your own, and so we're excited to hear you bring the word on Sunday. Also, from what I've been hearing, is that we're going to have a pretty big praise band up on Sunday.
Yeah, we've got a good-sized group coming up Sunday, so we're excited about that as well.
Here we have the organ, we have the piano, we have a keyboard player, guitar player, bass player, a couple singers.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun Sunday.
It's going to be a fun Sunday, so you're not going to want to miss it. And speaking of Sunday, this Sunday, March 7, we are combining our two separate worship services back to one. It's been about a year since kind of everything changed because of COVID, and so we're excited to kind of merge back together. And yet at the same time, we want to recognize that COVID is still happening, and so we want to do our best to continue safe practices. And so when you get here on Sunday, you're going to recognize that all three aisles are open. So you can come down the side aisles or the center aisles to find a seat. And then notice on the seat, when you look down, there's going to be a blue paper on some of the pews that say stop. Don't sit here, so we just ask that you don't sit there. And then maybe move to the pew in front of that. And there's also a rope down the middle of all of the pews so that we can kind of stagger seating and create that social distancing that we're hoping to do. So we hope to see you this Sunday, 9:30. If you show up at 8:30, you're going to be here really early. If you show up at 10:30, well, maybe you can catch the last verse of the last song.
Yeah. If you're at 8:30, you get a preview. You get to see the band rehearse. So.
Ooh, maybe that's a bonus for you there. But yes, 9:30 you're going to want to show up, and then at 10:45 is going to be our Sunday school for children and adults, and then that will wrap up at 11:15. So worship 9:30 to 10:30, 10:45 to 11:15 is Sunday school.
And interestingly, Dan, I'm going to interrupt for a second. It's been exactly 1 year because our last worship service was Sunday, March 8th of last year. Now we're going back to one service on Sunday, March 7th. So nice. Exactly 1 year since everything kind of went to pieces.
Craziness. I know. I was just thinking about it last year, about this time when everything was happening. I'm like, oh, we'll be back in time for Easter, no problem. And
right.
Here we still are.
Yeah.
But we thank you for your flexibility in navigating the craziness of this past year. And it's just been a cool reminder for all of us, I think, that the church isn't just what happens in a building. It's not just what happens on Sunday morning. The church is God's people on movement, carrying the name of Jesus wherever they go. So thanks for doing that with us this past year. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Bye now.
Blessings.